Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is the general monthly reading for the month of October 2018 for all of the signs. For the reading, I'll be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck by Jennifer Galasso. If I need to clarify anything, I will use the Zillich Tarot deck. And I will pull one additional oracle card from the Sacred Traveler Oracle deck by Denise Linn. Just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way to get a truly personalized reading with me would be to order a private reading. If you're interested, all of the information can be found in the description box below this video telling you how to do that. One other thing I will say, it's also a good idea to watch not just your sun sign video, but also your moon and rising signs. Sometimes, for that particular month, one video might resonate better than the others, or by listening to all three of them together, you'll really have a more complete overview of what is coming up for that month. And it's always a good time, right, at the beginning of each month for me to just say a big thank you to everybody who takes the time to watch these videos, to leave comments, to like the videos, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you very much, and I will see each of you or each of the signs in 1 second for your reading. Bye for now. Hi Cancer, hope you're doing well. I'm here to get into your October reading. As you can see, I have shuffled off camera and laid this spread, really to try to save a little bit of time. So let's jump into it. You have at the center of your reading the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is crossed by Major Arcana number 2, the High Priestess. So you could be dealing with this King of Wands sitting at the center of your reading, you could be dealing with an older fire sign individual. Even though he appears here as the king, it could be male or female, but usually it's somebody who is older, or somebody, could even be like an old soul, somebody who just has, an older type of energy, but fire sign. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And this person is usually, somebody who's sort of a born leader, right? Not at all afraid to, to go after something brand new or to embark upon a new endeavor, a new project. It's kind of a trailblazer. And he's, he's very charismatic. He's very, people are kind of drawn to him, right? Because of his very charismatic nature. He also has great vision. Again, a born leader. And he's being, what's hindering or helping this King of Wands. We have the High Priestess, which deals with, she sort of sits between, she's the veil between our realm, the material realm, and the hidden realm. And she encourages us to, to use our intuition, to use our psychic abilities to figure things out, right? She's associated with the moon, so there could be, you could be having significant dreams throughout the month, and it could have, you might be receiving messages in these dreams. So do pay attention to that. It might be a good time to keep a dream journal during this month. But, again, if this isn't a person, this King of Wands, and it's just, an energy, this is usually, or this is you taking on the energy of the King of Wands. It's a very, a forward-looking, a very self-assured, self-confident type of energy. But there might be, again, with this being the High Priestess, and you also have the moon in your spread. I know I haven't shown it yet, but you do have the moon. There could have something to do here with, uncovering secrets, finding things out. Again, messages coming through in your dreams while you're sleeping, and also, paying attention, using your intuition to figure things out, right? To come up with an answer to something. And I'll come back to the High Priestess, but, keeping that in mind, what you have at the foundation of your reading is the Four of Cups. So the Suit of Cups deals with our emotions, feelings, relationships. And the Four of Cups, it really speaks of apathy, of boredom. Let me hold this up again. You can see how, she has 3 cups sitting behind her, right on the ground, and she's kind of staring into, the one chalice in front of her, almost, it's like she's dreaming, not really paying that much attention. She's not really that excited as well about, this chalice in front of her. And if we think of, this chalice, it's kind of like the Ace of Cups, this holy grail. So whatever this is, it could be, it could be a relationship, it could be a situation, it could be a job, whatever this, is in this cup, whatever this cup is for the person here, or for you watching the video, there could be something that, maybe you're feeling slightly bored with or apathetic about. And what's, by only focusing on this one cup here and kind of feeling bored with that one cup, she's missing out on, she's not even paying attention to, the 3 cups behind her. So, there could be a need to pay attention to, maybe opportunities, things that you might be missing out on. Something that you might have been missing out on because you have been feeling, a little bit bored or a little bit just not that happy, not that pleased with, whatever this one cup means for you in your life. Now, in the recent past, we have the Queen of Wands. So we had the King of Wands at the center of the reading, and then the Queen next to it. So this could be a couple with, the King and Queen appearing in a reading. Obviously you are a water sign, but, there could be, this could represent you and another individual. This could just be a couple that, they might be playing a significant role in your life. This could be, this is somebody you're in a relationship with. They might have fire somewhere in their chart. But again, this Queen of Wands, similar messages to the King of Wands. She is a very, exciting individual. She's usually very good at, taking care of many different things. She's kind of all over the place at all times, but she does everything very well, right? She's very capable. She's very good at getting things done, and she's not afraid of trying new things. She's not afraid of taking on, different tasks or activities. And she's usually sort of an attractive, kind of energetic, very confident individual. So, if these aren't people, if this is just the energy that you are taking on this month, you could be you could be taking on the energy of this Queen of Wands, right? And coming across very confident, right? Very, like, more attractive than usual, right? Maybe there's just this sort of air around you this month that you're coming across very, very likable. You're attracting, a lot of people are feeling attracted towards you this month, right? They're kind of being drawn to you. Now, you do have more court cards coming up here. Crowning your reading, you have the Queen of Swords. And in the near future, you have the Knight of Swords. So, with 2 Swords cards, the suit of Swords, it has to do with our thoughts. It's the suit of the intellect, right, of the mind. It's where we come up with our ideas. It's also how we communicate those ideas to other people. Swords, since it's air energy and of the mind, it also is linked to psychic abilities, intuition. And with the High Priestess and the Moon card, there could definitely be, a need to tap into your intuition this month. Pay attention to messages coming through in your dreams. Pay attention to, messages coming in through, non-traditional kind of ways, right, or means, such as repeating numbers and signs, synchronicities, songs, repeating songs, those types of things. But going back to the Queen of Swords she can at times come across as being, too forward or too honest, right? Because she is, in general, she's an honest person. She kind of tells things how they are. She's very good at communicating with other people. At times, though, you see how she's carrying this, she's carrying the sword of truth here. So at times, she comes across a little too direct, a little too honest. And so she's, people can sometimes, get a little bit offended maybe by her words or how she comes across. But it's just because she is a very honest person. She is an honest individual. And she's usually good about communicating, getting her thoughts across. So if you have a new project that you've been working on, or if you have a new idea, she's a very good energy to have surrounding you, right? Because she can get that across. She can communicate that well, right, to other people. And with the Knight of Swords in the near future, same energy, right? Same air energy here. The Knight of Swords, he also, he comes rushing in. You see how he's carrying his sword. He's ready for battle, even though there isn't really any battle around him, right? He's there. He's ready to kind of go up against to face whatever he needs to. As a cautionary message with the Knight of Swords, there is also, that he needs to be careful about or with using his words, because he can sometimes, since he comes in so quickly and he's like, okay, I'm here and I'm ready, I'm ready to take on whatever, he can sometimes come across as too forceful, right, or too aggressive, a little too overbearing. So, with communication, I could see how there could be a need to maybe watch, the way that you communicate this month. Be careful with your words. There might be a situation that you're dealing with that you need to be careful. You might need to, something to do with communication and the way that you communicate. Just be careful with that as you move through the month. Now, you appear as the Nine of Wands. And surrounding you in your environment is Major Arcana, the Fool. So it's interesting because the Nine of Wands, so more fire energy. We already had, right, the King and Queen of Wands over there. So possibly, to do with the work that you do. It can have to do with like business ventures. It can be creative endeavors. And then the Suit of Wands can also just be, our own fire and determination and passion for the things that we do. The Nine of Wands is kind of like, you see how she's sitting there. It looks like she's just taking a time out, but actually what she's doing is, she's still very much on guard, right? She's sitting there. She's kind of like waiting just in case something else happens. So sometimes this Nine of Wands is like the, one last hurdle that you have to cross before reaching, whatever the end goal is. So one last thing, one last task for you, or one last trial that you have to accomplish or to complete before reaching, because, tens in the tarot are endings. And so you're nearly there with this Nine of Wands. And, and it can sometimes speak of like a difficult situation, or just working very hard, right? Things have been quite challenging, quite difficult, and it's like you're nearly there, but there might still be, one last thing. She's cautious. She's sitting there. She's ready to move forward, but she's going to do so. Sorry about that. I just had a sneezing fit. I had to stop. So then, the Nine of Wands, she's sitting there. She's going to proceed, but she's doing so, in kind of a defensive manner. She's moving forward, but very carefully, very cautiously, right? She doesn't want to get caught off guard. But she's nearly there. She's nearly reaching the 10. And then we have surrounding, right, in your environment, this brand new beginning. So there is this new beginning. There's, you might be a little cautious. You might be moving ahead. I almost feel like almost expecting the worst for some reason. But, there's a brand new beginning here. And the Fool is all about taking that leap of faith, right? Stepping, you see, she's one foot on the edge of the cliff. The other is dangling off the edge. And she's just, ready to let go, step out, trusting, in the universe, trusting that this leap of faith, that things will work out for her, that this new beginning, and you see there are all these butterflies surrounding her, so new cycles, rebirth, right, regeneration, brand new beginnings. She's, it's kind of like that in-between moment. The Fool here is the 0 card, so it's not quite the number 1, the Magician, which is all about manifestation and bringing things into, reality, partnering with the universe. This is kind of the breath before that, right? So she's taking that breath and she's ready to step off, right? So it's taking that leap of faith. Now, your hopes and fears, you have the 5 of Wands, and I feel that this is more of a fear, and this card has to do with conflict, right? Arguments. You can see that the men on the card, they're holding their, the wands up. Yes, they're challenging each other, but nobody's going in for the kill or anything. They don't have swords, right? They're not stabbing each other. They're just really using the wands to intimidate the others. Same thing with the lions, they're not attacking each other. They're just baring their teeth, showing their teeth to try to gain the alpha position here. So that's what really the 5 of Wands has to do with. It's this conflict, argument, trying to come out ahead. So I think that if there is a new beginning, and, obviously this is going to play out differently for everybody watching. If this is a new job opportunity, maybe you're embarking upon, a brand new career or a brand new position, a new opportunity as far as, work, or even a creative project for you. And maybe there's competition there. This can sometimes have to be if you're going up against other people, if you're going up for a promotion, this is you going up against everybody else. And yes, there is, and there can be this kind of backbiting going on, but it's all just really about, trying to get ahead. So, if there is any type of power struggle, and I think that you might be, fearing that here, it's just about trying to come out ahead. And you have as the outbound energy for the month, you have Major Arcana number 18, the Moon. So, the Moon card, again, going back to the High Priestess, these two cards are very, linked to each other, because the Moon is a card that speaks of hidden things, uncovering, right? And if we think about the sun shines its light to really, to bring light, to enlighten us. The moon also casts, it has the light of the moon, but it casts shadows, right? And so since we can't, we don't have the whole picture, things aren't illuminated, we have to rely on our intuition. We have to rely on those messages that come through in our dreams, right? In using our intuition to figure things out, paying attention to the signs, the synchronicities, right? And the moon, it is the card of dreams. It's the card of the subconscious, our psychic abilities, our intuition. So, it also has to do with, it can have to do with facing fears as well, and needing to, face our past fears and facing them really head on, not being scared, in order to continue on with our journey. So there could be something going back here to, this proceeding with caution, this brand new beginning, possibly conflict. Whatever this is, it's all about facing your fears head on, possibly, paying attention to messages coming in through your dreams, using your intuition, but then, keeping going, continuing on with your journey after, doing this, after facing your fears, right? After getting over this last hurdle. And as the overall energy for the month, you have the Hangman. This is another major arcana, okay? So number 12 of the major arcana. And the Hangman can speak of delays. The Hangman can speak of a need to see things from a different perspective. Obviously, he's hanging upside down here, right? But he could easily wriggle out of the ties. He could get out of the situation, but he understands that, it is a necessary position that he's in right there, right? And without being in that position, he would not be able to see things. He would not gain this clarity of mind. He would not gain the enlightenment that he is getting by being upside down. So sometimes this card has to do with, it's this period of suspense, and it's really about letting go, and accepting situations that maybe you don't have, a control over. Sometimes this can have to do with needing to change your way of thinking, so releasing or changing old ways of thinking. Can have to do with, gaining a new perspective. And by doing so, he is gaining a different outlook on life, right? So he's getting out of this position. Once he does move out of the position that he's in, he has a new outlook on life. So, and let me show you your oracle card that came out is Discovering Truth. And one of the other signs had this as well. Can't remember which one, but it says, you stand in the light of truth. And going back to what I was saying about the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords, there is this great deal of truth. And even with the High Priestess and the Moon card, it can sometimes be uncovering truths, right? Uncovering, like if there are secrets, hidden things, uncovering those truths as well. So there could be an element of truth or uncovering truth coming in this month for some of you. Let me find my guidebook. I like to read the full meaning for the oracle cards. And this one says, hold on, here we go. It says, listen to the wisdom that rises from your soul, even if those around you don't agree. Trust your instincts, be yourself, whatever the situation, and respond from the authentic place inside. Be starkly honest with yourself. Speak your truth, live your truth, walk your truth. Listen to your inner guidance and follow it. You radiate the energy of truth to others so that they can find their truth. The sacred traveler wants you to know. If you're facing a decision and your mind says one thing and your heart says another, follow the dictates of the heart, and you will be on the right path. If you get a nudge to speak to someone or go in a particular direction, don't hesitate. Follow this guidance. On your journey, others may indicate what path you should take and why. You can listen to their advice. However, if your heart indicates another way, follow that. There's a place inside of yourself that always knows the truth. Take time to be still, to discover the genuine place of knowing within. Often the hardest thing about living your truth is discovering what it is, so it's important to slow down, be quiet, and listen to the whispers of your soul. If there's an area of your life in which you're not being authentic or where you're not in integrity with your values, this is the time to make some changes. And that's interesting because these two cards, the Queen of Swords and Knight of Swords, is very much about truth, speaking your truth, communicating. She's a very honest, very righteous, very, upright type individual, this Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords. So there could definitely be something about truth, again, with the, uncovering truth. This could be, somebody else, like a truth about somebody else. This could be uncovering, discovering your own truth and being true to yourself, right? And facing fears. It's that type of truth, seeking out the truth. But interesting. Looks like overall a good month, interesting month for you. I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of October. Bye for now.